Fuzzy Biker here, and look what I got behind me today. Isn't that amazing? Baxter Cycle here in Marnie, Iowa has been willing to lend me this Triumph Speed Triple RS. This is a world-class motorcycle. This has got the inline triple, 1160 cc's, 178 horsepower, 178 horsepower. Just a phenomenal machine. 94 foot-pounds of torque, aluminum frame, monoshock, Olin suspension, adjustable in every way, front and back. These amazing brakes, Brembo, I think they're Stylemas. Just wow. Look at that radiator, curved radiator. Just the most beautiful thing in the world. If you're not attracted to this style of bike, go drive one. You will love it in an instant, I guarantee it. I'm gonna go take that hot rod for a ride, and then we'll get back and talk about it. Wahoo! Okay, kickstand up, clutch in. Let's see what happens when we hit the button here. Holy cow! Look at that tachometer. 11.5 red line. We're idling at, it looks like 1200. Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. There's the fuel gauge right down there. All right, let's go have some fun. Can you all hear this thing? Phenomenal, phenomenal. We'll go over some of the specs here later, but we'll start with the big ones. 178 horsepower, and that's 178 horsepower before this header on there. No cars behind us. Let's see what kind of a turn we can do here. It's a very high seat, and I'm not used to this bike. It's a very short wheelbase too. Yeah, it's made for high speeds. Okay, let's get out to the road. Oh, amazing! Whoa! This thing is fast. There's no way around it. Interesting handling. You sit quite high on the bike. It's they say it's a street bike that's race ready, and I believe that. Wow. Looking at the dash, we got the tachometer in the big ring. We've got the speedometer in the center, and of course the gear indicator right there under the speed. Fuel gauge under that. Everything you need in one spot. There's a clock in the upper left hand and a temperature gauge in the upper right hand. This thing is absurd. Insane. Absolutely bizarro. Nuts. Just nuts. Oh, I don't even have words to describe this, my friends. Those of you with the skills and instincts to ride a motorcycle like this, my hat's off. This thing is, wow, just out there. Iowa's busiest intersection. I'm just going to point out that I'm not even close to the power range on this thing. I think the power range is 10,000 plus. The peak horsepower, that is. Iowa's busiest intersection, and of course there's traffic here today. This thing is making a sound like you won't believe. It's just, it's a scream demon. And then the shift, you just shift, no clutch needed. And it's so smooth between gears. We're in 5th now. Watch, we're gonna go hand up here, 6th gear, no problem. Back down to 5, wow, wow. Up to 6, wow. You know, there's a lot of really fast motorcycles in the world, but there's only a handful that are in this class of bike. And most of those bikes are exotics that are small dealer networks, they're ultra expensive, and are known for having maintenance problems. This is a Triumph. I think Triumphs have a 2-year unlimited mile warranty. Triumphs are known for being reliable and strong running bikes, and this thing is one of those motorcycles. This is just a rocket. Triumph is the best throttle control. That's one of the things that sold me about Triumphs right away, was how smooth and how well the mapping was on them. Okay, let's give the brakes a shot. Whoa! That was insane! Like, this is your wildest dreams times whatever. If you have the skills to ride a bike like this, you have got to try this one. This is just amazing. And like I said, I've been in the bottom half of the tack the whole time. I love the note it sings. It's absolutely beautiful sounding. This is an aftermarket pipe on this bike. This is a 22, by the way. And here we are entering the mighty mini-tropolis of Marne, Iowa, home of Baxter Cycle, sellers of new and used Royal Enfields, Triumphs, and British bikes of all types. They even got some Japanese bikes. This thing is amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm at a lock. I can't even talk. I don't even know what to say. This thing is just mind-blowing, mind-blowing. There is the derailed grill. If you ever come to Marne, you give that place a shot. Let's see how this thing turns, huh? It's amazing. This is one of those bikes that you do have to watch when you're driving slow. It's not, oh, what am I saying? It's doing great. This is a whole new class of motorcycle for me. I have driven some fast bikes in my time, but this one is not only next level, this is the top level. This is amazing. Amazing motorcycle. If you have the skill to ride a bike in this class, you need to really check this one out, because this is the ultimate. This is the ultimate motorcycle. I'm just blown away by it. And it sounds so, so good. Look at that tack. Just, and we're still nowhere near red line. All right, y'all, we just got back from the hot rod ride on this amazing motorcycle. My GoPro's dead, so I'm going to film this with my camera, my phone, and we're just going to go right to the beginning here. Let's just go to the heart of it. 1160 cc's, absolutely amazing engine, inline triple with a 13.2 to 1 compression ratio, 178 horsepower, 92 foot-pounds of torque. That's 125 Newton meters. It's fuel injected. It's got electric throttle. It's got everything you could ever imagine. It's got this, it's supposed to have a stainless header, but this one has an aftermarket pipe. Check that hot rod out. Isn't that just a mind-blowing thing? Other things to talk about on this thing is the 6-speed transmission right there with the quick shifter, and that quick shifter is the best quick shifter I have ever used. I haven't used many, but I can tell you that this one is far better than any of the other ones I've ever used. So just mind-blowing, mind-blowing. The frame on this thing is aluminum. That's how they get it so light. We'll talk about the weight here in a minute. It's got a subframe that's detachable. That too is aluminum. It oozes power. Just, oh, just the construction is, you know, every weld a piece of, you know, work of art. Everything is just, you know, these cast pieces down here. I mean, just a phenomenal, phenomenal machine. Look at that back end, that swing arm. Just a gorgeous one-sided swing arm. Look at the work on that. Look at that open end sprocket right there. That's just mind-blowing, mind-blowing. The Olin suspension back there. Tires on this hot rod. Let's go to that, huh? Tires are front 120/70/17s, and let's see if we can see a brand. It says Metzler Race Tech RR. That's amazing. And on the rear, they're 190. 190. Look at the size of that tire. This goes on forever. The back is a 190/55/17. And look at that beautiful rim. I mean, isn't that just amazing? That whole back end is just everything you could ever want in a motorcycle. I mean, that is wow. Wow. That too is a 17. The brakes are the front are 320 millimeters. Look, I love these brakes. I just love them. They are just everything you could ever want in brakes. Brembo Stylema monoblocks, 4 pistons, radially mounted. Look at that. Radially mounted, solid block, floating disc. And look at the size of that disc. Dual disc, of course. Just you know, and ABS brakes, by the way. We used them, and I was just blown away by how they worked. And here's the rear one. The rear one is a 220 millimeter. I can see it better from this side, with a Brembo caliper, 2-piston caliper. I think that's what they are. Öhlins on the front. Let's see if we can find out about those. 43 millimeter Öhlins shock. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Just a beautiful, you know, inverted fork. 4.7 inches of travel. Here's the travel section right here. You know, just 4.7 inches. That's 120 millimeters. And look at this protector over the fork. I mean, you know, keep the bugs and the dirt and everything off of it. I mean, and this carbon fiber. I mean, that's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the rear is an Öhlins also, and that's got a 4.7 amount of travel also. But look at the, I mean, that's just, it just oozes amazement. I mean, just, that is, these are the adjustments. There's compression adjustment, rebound and damping. That says rebound, that must be dampening. The forks on the front says compression on this side, rebound on that side. And I'm guessing there's dampening somewhere, but or maybe, you know, maybe it's, I don't know enough about it to tell you for sure. But it's phenomenal looking, and of course the handling was, I don't know what to say about the handling. It just blew me away. Seat height, this is amazing. It says 32.7 inches, and I would have guessed it higher than that. That's about 830 millimeters. Look at how narrow the seat is. Just narrow right through the center. Wheelbase, and here's the magic number, and I would have thought it'd been shorter than this the way it handled. 56.9 inches for a wheelbase on that. That's 1,445 millimeters. This thing is just a mind-blowingly fast motorcycle, and the handling is superb. Everything is just wow on it. The fuel tank is 4.1 gallons. That's 15.5 liters. Very interesting looking tank. Here's the nitty-gritty number, the one we all want to know about. Weight, 437 pounds wet. That's wet weight. It's 198 kilos. Mind-blowing, mind-blowing. You know, real quick, this is available in black, silver, and orange. Let's talk about the first thing, the looks. Now, I didn't really care for the looks of these motorcycles in the beginning. Then I drove the Street Triple, the RS, and I just fell in love with how these things look. They are so aggressive, so just the looks of these bikes. I feel that these are just incredibly good looking bikes. I wish they came in red. I'm a red guy. I think, you know, that would just be an absolute killer motorcycle. The bulbous tank, the narrow gunfighter, you know, I call these gunfighter seats, you know, because, you know, you're going to war when you're riding one of these, right? You know, the colors of the forks and the shock in the back, you know, they jump out at you. The chin fairing on the bottom, the curved radiator. I mean, that's just a really interesting looking thing to me. You know, just everything about this is right. Everything about this is right. All right, let's look at the controls here. This is the clutch lever. This is adjustable for throw. The amount of distance here with this little knob here. Very interesting looking thing. Then we go over here to the brake lever, and the brake lever is adjustable for throw with this end right here, but it's also adjustable for modulation. By the way, that's Brembo tagged here. When I had this thing on the road, those brakes worked great. Bar end mirrors, of course. Look at the back of this thing. You know, look at this for the rider pegs. I mean, just wow. You know, just absolutely amazing. This comes off, and there's a seat that goes on there that you get with the bike. Look at the taillight on this. Isn't that cool? Let's get back a little ways. Just, you know, like a flying eagle or something. You know, I don't know what that's supposed to. Maybe that's supposed to be a Triumph key. Coming up here, we've got the eyebrows on the lights. You know, very aggressive looking front end. That cool fender. Just the blinkers are down here. These look like crash bars. Oh wow, that's interesting. Very nice. Just well done, well done. Everything about this is amazing. Anyway, if you get a chance to ride one of these, get down here to Baxter Cycle and check one of these out. This thing is just amazing. Absolutely an amazing motorcycle. And if you're in the class of rider that can appreciate one of these, a bike with 178 horsepower and 94 foot-pounds of torque, or whatever this thing has, you need to get down to Baxter's and try one of these out. This is everything you could ever want in a motorcycle. This is the top rung of riding, I think. And it's just, you know, it's a Triumph to boot. It's not, you know, this is something with a warranty and everything you could ever want in a motorcycle. It's just phenomenal bike, phenomenal bike. Okay, we are back in the shop. The video that I made of the screen did not turn out, but this is kind of RS aisle right here. The Street Triple RS. These are all 1200 RSs, except for this is a 1050 RS. Absolutely beautiful. But here's the bike we're going to look at. The one we drove was this one right here. This is the one we're going to take a look at, and our goal is to look at the screen and all the details within it. That's the basic screen, tachometer on the outside, fuel gauge on the bottom, miles per hour on the inside. Up here is a clock. Over here is the current temperature right in this area. ABS light, of course, and the Bluetooth light. To access that stuff, there's two ways. One is the home button right over here, which does that. Push it again and does that. It slides everything over and gets you basic information. Okay, or you can come over here to the joystick and you hit that and it'll do, I think it does the same thing. Yeah. So let's do this again. In here we've got display modes. Down to the next one, it's bike, you know, like riding alerts, coolant, warning, service, things like that. Next one is trip, which is trip meters, lap timer, fuel status, and then below that is Bluetooth. So let's go over here to display. We've got brightness, the themes, language, units, dates, shift indicator. There's, let's hit that one real quick. You can disable or enable the light. You can also set the RPM that the shift indicator light will come on. Okay, go back. So for brightness, you can toggle up and down right here. Get that. Let's go full bright. Then back. Themes. I think there's two different color themes you can choose. There's this. Okay, so for colors, there's two options. There's cobalt, which is this one, blue, and then there's furnace, which is this one. Very fiery looking. I like that one better. Okay, run backwards here. Language, and there's just a whole mess of language options. English, go back. Units, so we can make this, you know, miles, kilometers, you know, all kinds of, you know, like pressures, PSI, scrolling back. Set the time and date, the shift and cable, we already talked about those things. Okay, so going back, next one is bike. So let's look at that. Rider aids, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, the different modes, I suppose. Road, sport, rain. Oh, and then traction control settings. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, then coolant. Just to, you know, gauge. Warning, service settings, things like that. Let's get out of that. The next one is your trip meters. I think there's trip A, trip B, you know, trip 1, trip 2. And then it looks like maybe brightness or something like that. And we're controlling all this with this joystick over here, by the way. And then down here's your lap timer, start session, top speed. Oh, wow, top speed. I did not know you had that option, or I would have used that the other day. And then fuel status, and let's see what that gives us. Okay, miles per gallon. Not sure what this is supposed to be. And then the range, effective range yet. Very nice. Then the Bluetooth hooked. You can hook up your navigation. Yeah, this is all phone dependent. Navigation, music, phone, text. You can hook your GoPro up to this, and then a Bluetooth intercom also. And then down below is the last one. You can set up your settings for Bluetooth. All right, let's get out of that. Let's go to home screen, which there's a home button over here. You can also use the other buttons. Puts it back to normal. That's that fiery red furnace colored screen. So we turn the bike on. There's the oil pressure light, the engine light. We hit the mode button, and there they are. Right now we're in road mode. We'll use the joystick. I got rider setting mode, rain mode, road mode, track mode, I'm sorry, sport mode, and then track mode. And then these are all also adjustable in different ways. So you can also switch between modes just by pushing the buttons without using the joystick. So I assume you could do that on the fly. I'm not sure about that, but very interesting. Very nice electronics package. I think this bike has wheelie control and things like that. I'm not sure how to set that up. I'd have to talk to one of the guys here. It also has, I think it has a 6-way chip, you know, that lets it, you know, give you the cornering, ABS and traction control and things like that. Very interesting, you know, very interesting package of electronics. One thing I'll say is my experience with Triumph is that they really have great traction control in modes like that. So very interesting motorcycle. Alrighty, let's keep on rolling. Hey, thank you to Baxter Cycle for letting us use these beautiful speed triples. That's the one we rode right there. And absolutely amazing motorcycles. Look at this one right here. If y'all are interested in anything like this, get a hold of these guys at baxtercycle.com. Ask for Jeremy or Mark. Just amazing motorcycles. That's absolutely one of my favorite. It's a beautiful thing in that color. Anyway, y'all get out there and ride. Wahoo. Do that again.